What's up? This is the boxing year-end review, top performances, and like I promised, new carpet. We didn't lie about that. Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty, because that's why we're here. Listen, a lot of things are gonna appear to be different from what you probably have heard. A lot of these lists are close. My breakout artist, or the person I think who has the most potential for 2017, or best prospect, I'm gonna go with Regis Prograde. I think Regis, over his fight over Diaz, showed a lot of growth, and he's fighting a lot of tough fighters. And I think his growth, his growth potential is very high in his division because of his power. A lot of people respect his power and can't deal with what he's dishing out, and he's able to take what they can dish and come back. We'd like to see him push towards the title fight in 2018, and the sky's the limit for him. Now, I don't want to take up too much of your time because I'm busy and you're busy, so we try to keep it moving right along. They got a situation with Fighter of the Year, and as for Fighter of the Year, I'm gonna say Fighter of the Year. I'm gonna say this is a great year for Top Rank. Now, for Fighter of the Year, I can't go any further or anywhere else than to say Terrence Crawford. Some people got Lomachenko, and other people got Crawford. So, me, I'm going with Terrence Crawford. And the reason why I'm picking Bud is a very simple reason. I'm picking Bud because I figure he had the harder challenge. Uh, it's not easy unifying all the titles in a division. He got all four belts. It's very tough to do. So that's definitely a plus in his corner. And as far as anything else, what more can I tell you? Lomachenko had the biggest win, I think, of the year because a lot of people had Rigondeaux as number one on their list, pound for pound best fighter in the world. I did not. I felt that Rigondeaux's skills were very limited, and as from the pro level to amateur level, but he's very poised on his feet, very educated. Now, when it comes to a situation where, let's say, let's say fight of the year. There have been great fights this entire year. I'm gonna say a lot of people, Klitschko and Anthony Joshua was outstanding this year, and could have been up there for fight of the year. but I'm leaning more towards um, James DeGale and Badu Jack. I think that was the more exhilarating fight of going back and forth because things would happen in that fight you never expected. Like, no one expected James DeGale to drop Badu Jack early in the fight. Nobody expected to see that. And if anything, they thought Jack would probably drop him early in the fight. Then you start to see the fight take different turns. You start seeing Jack take over when you thought DeGale would. And when DeGale started to fade late into the fights, he was finding ways to still win rounds and stay competitive and come back. I mean, he got a tooth knocked out in that fight. So having a tooth knocked out in the fight, he gets up, he comes all the way back. He gets up, he comes all the way back in this fight. And coming back into the fight, he gets hit and gets dropped in the last round. Badu Jack needed a knockout to win on my cards, and he gets a draw. And that's the way I still had DeGaulle winning by like 1 point on my card, but they scored it a draw, and I'm like, well, that's about the fair amount, even though they don't agree. I still think that was fight of the year, without a doubt. So those are the three major categories that I wanted to pick for boxing this year. It's a lot of honorable mentions, of course. You got a lot of the lightweight fights you could put in there. Miura, any fight Kamagai normally was in except for the Cotto fight. Some people like for event of the year, you gotta have Mayweather and Conor McGregor. Even though to me, Anthony Joshua and Klitschko was a very huge event. I still gotta lean towards Mayweather and McGregor. That was, people don't understand how worldwide that fight was. They took a world tour, and the world tour was basically packed everywhere they went. They didn't have to give away anything. People were breaking their necks to get in there just to see it. It was watched and set all kind of ratings records just for the weigh-ins, the press conference. So for an event, Mayweather and McGregor definitely has the record. Not only box office records, as being the biggest fight ever grossing and making and generating well over into the billions. This was got to be the biggest event. The biggest stage, like show and stadium type of event, Anthony Joshua with Klitschko. Yeah, it was a better fight. It was more meaningful for the state of boxing because, Klitschko was the guy. He had to be defeated in order for, somebody to really say, okay, he's got a staple in his belt. Even though he's been kind of out of the ring, somebody had to really dethrone Klitschko. Fury did it, but then he dethroned himself with out of the ring activity. So there was never no definitive champion. So Tyson Fury keeps fighting himself and losing. So who knows where his career is going to end up. But we needed to have that definitive champion. So I'm out.